Welcome back to the deep dive. So I was at the driving range yesterday just, watching people.
Oh boy.
And it's the same thing every single time. You see guys trying to absolutely murder the ball.
Gritting their teeth.
Totally. Veins popping, swinging their arms so hard, like worried they're going to dislocate a shoulder. And the ball, it just goes nowhere. It's kind of painful to watch.
It's the classic amateur struggle, isn't it? I mean,
Yeah.
we're sort of wired to think effort equals distance.
Right.
If I want to move this thing far, I have to grunt and heave. It makes sense. But in golf, it's almost always dead wrong.
Exactly. But then you look 2 stalls down and there's that one player, maybe a local pro, maybe just a really good ball striker, and it just looks effortless, like they're moving in slow motion.
But the sound is completely different.
It's like a gunshot. It is so frustrating. But looking at the stack of research we have today, and we have a serious stack, from the Titleist Performance Institute, AMTI force plates, some really dense biomechanics journals, that effortless power. It's not magic. It's physics.
That's it right there.
Yeah.
It's not about having bigger biceps or, swinging your hands faster. The real engine of the golf swing isn't even in the upper body. It's the ground.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We are leaving the driving range. We're heading into the physics lab to find what the pros call free speed.
Yeah.
We're going to unpack ground reaction forces, or GRF.
And this isn't just use your legs.
No, I want to be clear. This isn't generic advice.
We're going way deeper. We're going to talk about torque, a concept called braking, which sounds totally backwards when you want to go fast, and the very specific sequence that elite players use.
And the best part is, this is all invisible stuff. You can't really see it on TV. But the promise here is that once you understand how to scissor your feet and when to slam on the brakes, you stop trying to muscle the club and you start letting physics do the heavy lifting.
It changes everything. You go from feeling like you're fighting the club to feeling like it's just an extension of the ground.
Okay, let's start with the big one, the foundational concept. We can't talk about ground reaction forces without our old friend from high school physics,
Sir Isaac Newton.
Sir Isaac Newton.
Specifically, his third law. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction.
Most people know the quote, but I don't think they're applying it to their 7-iron.
No. Think of it this way. When you're just standing on the tee box, the ground is pushing up against you with the exact same force your body weight is pushing down.
It's a stalemate.
A total stalemate. If you want to move, you have to break that stalemate. You have to push into the ground so the ground pushes back.
And that return energy, the ground pushing back, that's the only thing that moves the body.
I mean, unless you've got a rocket strapped to your back or someone pushes you, yes. An external force is required to move a mass. The ground is that external force.
Okay, so we're pushing into the floor. But the research from AMTI, and these are the guys who make the really high-end force plates, it breaks this down into 3 different vectors, directions.
Yeah, 3 distinct directions. It's not just pushing straight down. If you stood on one of these 3D force plates, which is basically a high-tech bathroom scale that costs as much as a car, it measures force in 3 directions.
Okay, what's the first one?
First, you have vertical force. That's the simple one, up and down.
That's the jump, using the ground to jump.
Exactly. Then you have medial lateral force. That's side to side.
Like a white shift or?
Sway.
Think of a speed skater pushing off. That's medial lateral.
And
there's the third one.
This is the one I feel like nobody talks about at the local club, but the research says it might be the most important for speed.
It's the anteroposterior force, or more commonly, just shear force.
So front to back, toes to heels.
Exactly. It's the friction that stops your feet from slipping forward or backward. And here is the aha moment for most people.
Okay.
When we look at long drive champs or top pros, they generate massive vertical force, sometimes 200% of their body weight.
Wow.
They're literally jumping.
Ah.
But vertical force isn't the most efficient way to create rotation. Why not? I mean, I would think jumping harder equals swinging faster.
It helps, don't get me wrong. But think about leverage. To spin something, you need torque. And torque is just a force applied at a distance from an axis.
Right.
Well, the research shows that the lever arm, the distance from your body's center, is nearly 10 times larger for these horizontal shear forces than for the vertical ones.
10 times.
10 times. It's a massive difference.
So pushing straight up doesn't really help you spin. It just helps you go up.
It just moves you up, yeah. Because your feet are spread apart, pushing forward or backward creates this huge twisting moment. It's just way more efficient.
So if I'm just trying to jump, I'm basically working 10 times harder than I need to for rotation.
You're leaving all the easy speed on the table. You're jumping, but you're not twisting.
Which brings us to the shear concept. The papers talk about something called a force couple.
It sounds like a bad rom-com, but it's the secret to hip speed. It is the very definition of a pivot.
Okay, so what is it?
A force couple is just two forces, equal in size, but opposite in direction. In the swing, your feet act as the two ends of this couple.
This is the scissor analogy.
Exactly. Let's look at the downswing, because that's where the money is made.
Yeah.
To snap your hips open, your feet need to do opposite things.
Okay, so walk me through it. I'm at the top of my backswing. What do my feet actually do?
So imagine you're standing on a rug,
Mm-hmm.
and you want to twist it clockwise under you. Your lead foot, left foot for a righty, has to push forward toward the toes.
Pushing forward into the ground, almost towards the ball.
Yes, and by Newton's law, if you push the ground forward, the ground pushes your foot backward.
Okay.
At the same time, your trail foot pushes backward towards your heel,
Yeah.
and the ground pushes that foot forward.
So your feet are trying to tear the ground apart.
They are scissoring the floor. Lead foot pushes out, trail foot pushes back. And that interaction,
Mm-hmm.
it just snaps the pelvis open instantly. You don't have to think, spin my hips.
That's a huge distinction. I think most amateurs are trying to consciously fire their obliques or their hip flexors. You're saying the spin is a result of what the feet are doing.
Precisely. The hips just go along for the ride. It's faster, it's more consistent, and frankly, it saves your lower back a lot of strain.
Okay, I want to move to what I think is the most counterintuitive part of this entire stack, braking.
Ah, this is my favorite part. It feels so wrong, but the math is undeniable.
Right. When we talk speed, we talk acceleration, gas pedal, go. But the TPI data suggests the fastest players are actually the best at stopping.
Deceleration is the key to acceleration. It's all about energy transfer. The best analogy I've heard is a car crash test.
Grim, but okay, I'm with you.
So imagine a car speeding towards a brick wall at 100 miles an hour. The car is your hips, your lower body,
Yeah.
the dummy sitting loosely inside.
Yeah.
That's your arms and the club. When that car hits the wall, the car stops instantly. What happens to the dummy?
It goes through the windshield, it accelerates.
Exactly. The energy of the car didn't just disappear. It was transferred into the dummy. The golf swing is the same thing.
So you have to slam on the brakes, hit that brick wall with your lead side to catapult the energy out into the club head.
If you just keep sliding, the energy stays in your body. You have to crash.
And we have a perfect example of this in the nose, Aldrich Potgieter.
The South African phenom. I mean, this kid is incredible. Ball speed's around 190 miles per hour.
Just absurd.
So the TPI team put him on the AMTI plates to see what was going on. They measured his braking power, specifically in that lead leg, and they found he exhibits 63% more braking force in his lead leg than his trail leg.
63%. What's the tour average?
The average tour pro is around 40%.
And they're already elite.
Already elite. Potgieter is just slamming into his left side with violence. He's creating this massive collision to stop his lower body so his upper body can just whip through.
It really changes the whole visual of the swing. It's not a smooth slide, it's a sprint and a crash.
It's aggressive. And this leads us to the sequence. Because you can't just brake whenever. The timing is everything.
The kinetic sequence. We've all heard hips lead the hands, but the force plate data puts a specific timestamp on these moves.
It does. We call it the P system in the research. And what's fascinating is how early everything actually happens.
Okay, walk us through the order. What happens first?
First to peak is the horizontal force.
The shear force, the scissoring.
Right. And this happens during the transition, basically at the very top of the backswing.
Wait. So before the club even starts down, you've already maxed out your horizontal push.
Yes. You're shifting and preparing to torque before the backswing is even finished. Then the second peak is torque, the rotational force. That peaks when your lead arm is roughly parallel to the ground.
Downswing.
Mid-downswing. And then the vertical force, the jump.
That's last.
That peaks last. Usually right when the shaft is parallel to the ground, just microseconds before impact.
This explains so much. So many amateurs look like they're working hard but producing nothing because they're out of order.
They are. The most common amateur pattern is peaking that vertical force at impact, or even after the ball's gone.
They missed the bus.
Completely. The energy has to travel up the chain, feet, knees, hips, trunk, arms, club. That takes time. If you push into the ground at impact, the energy has no time to get to the club head. It's just wasted effort.
Let's quickly distinguish between two words people use all the time, weight and pressure.
Huge distinction. Mass, your weight, is your physical body. Pressure is where you're applying force. You can shift pressure without moving your mass nearly as much.
And the pros do this with a recentering move.
It's critical for that sequence. As they reach the top of their backswing, their pressure is already moving to the lead foot. They're stomping that left heel down while their hands are still going up.
And the numbers here are wild. At impact, how much pressure is on the lead foot?
For an elite player, anywhere from 80 to 95%.
95%. You're basically standing on one leg.
You are. You're posted up. If you hang back, if you have 30% of your weight on your trail foot trying to lift the ball, you can't brake. You can't create that car crash. The club just sort of flops forward.
But there's another concept here that I think listeners will love because it sounds like free energy. Passive torque.
Free speed is the best kind of speed. So active torque is you using your muscles, your obliques, your glutes to force rotation. Passive torque is using elasticity.
The rubber band effect.
Exactly. Your body is full of elastic tissue fascia, tendons. The research shows that pros create a free moment, that's the technical term, at the top. They twist their hips against the ground while rotating their shoulders the other way.
Stretching the rubber band.
And they hold that tension. Amateurs often lose it. They let the lead heel come way up, or they over-rotate their hips, and the rubber band goes slack.
So if you feel loose and comfortable at the top of your swing, you're probably doing it wrong.
Unfortunately, yeah. You want to feel coiled. That tension is potential energy. If you're comfortable, you're loose, and you have no passive torque.
Okay, we've covered a ton of physics. Newton, shear, braking. But this is a deep dive, not a university lecture. How do we actually feel this? The sources gave us a few specific drills.
Right. Let's make it practical. Let's start with vertical force. The cue here is crush the can.
I like this one. Simple visual.
Imagine there's an empty soda can under your lead heel. At the top of your swing, your very first move, before anything else, is to crush that can flat.
That forces that early pressure shift we were talking about.
It does. It gets you recentered and engages the ground immediately.
Yeah.
It prevents that hanging back mistake.
Okay, what about the shear force? That scissoring feeling it's harder to grasp.
For that, we have the slider drill. You can use a furniture slider, a paper plate, even a towel on a slick floor. Put it under your trail foot.
Okay, so my right foot as a righty is on something slippery.
Right. Now, in your downswing, your goal is to push that slider backward, away from the target.
Wait, backward, not towards the target.
That's the big misconception. If you slide the plate towards the target, you're just swaying. You have no traction. To rotate the hips forward, you have to push the ground backward.
Oh, that clicks. Like a sprinter in the blocks. You drive him back behind you to go forward.
Exactly. If you can feel yourself trying to rip the carpet backward with your trail foot, your hips will rocket open.
Yeah.
That is the sheer force in action.
Okay, now for the diagnostic. The speed-toed 3-drill test. This sounds like something anyone can do at the range tomorrow.
It's the best way to see if your pressure shift is the problem. You need some way to measure swing speed.
Or radar, or even just watching your carry distance.
Right. So swing 1, normal swing, get a baseline. Swing 2, the step back drill. Start with your feet together, step your trail foot back during the backswing and hit it.
Okay, loads up the backswing, and swing 3.
The step forward drill, this is the key. Start feet together. As you swing back, you step your lead foot forward towards the target, like a baseball batter, plant it, then swing through.
And what are we looking for in the results?
If your step forward swing is significantly faster than your normal swing, and we're talking 5-6 miles per hour faster, that is a massive red flag.
It means the speed is in there, but my normal swing isn't getting it out.
It means you aren't shifting your pressure aggressively enough or early enough.
Yeah.
The step drill forces you to do it. If that gives you free speed, you know exactly what to work on.
That is super actionable. Before we wrap up, though, I have to play devil's advocate here. This sounds painful. 200% body weight force, slamming on brakes, scissoring legs.
It can be. The medical journals in our stack are very clear. You can't fire a cannon from a canoe.
Great line. So you need a stable base.
You need strength. The research links leg strength, squats, deadlifts with force potential.
Right.
But you also need rate of force development.
Which is just how fast you can create that force.
Right, and that comes from plyometrics, jumping.
But there was also a specific warning about shoulders, GIRD.
Yeah, GIRD, it's a mouthful, glenohumeral internal rotation deficit. Basically, golfers, like baseball pitchers, develop a ton of external rotation. They can lay the club way back.
Yeah.
But they lose internal rotation.
The ability to turn the shoulder inward.
Right. And the body is a master of compensation. If your shoulder won't turn, your shoulder blade Your scapula will start moving in weird ways to make up for it. They call it sick scapula syndrome.
That does not sound
So
good.
it's a rotator cuff injury waiting to happen.
Yeah.
The takeaway is simple. If you're going to chase these forces, you have to screen your body. Make sure you have the mobility to handle the torque.
Get strong, but stay bendy.
Balance is key. Don't add horsepower to a car with a bent chassis.
We've covered a ton of ground today, pun intended.
We have.
Let's distill this, the cheat sheet for the listener. Step
Yeah.
1.
Shift early. Crush that can under your lead heel before the club even gets to the top.
Step 2. The scissor.
Use friction. Lead foot pushes forward. Trail foot pushes back. Don't spin your hips. Tear the ground.
Step 3. The super brakes.
Slam into that lead side. Brace hard to catapult the energy up the chain.
And finally, timing. Peak that vertical force before impact, not after.
That's the sequence.
Now, I want to leave everyone with one final thought.
Mm.
There was a nugget in the advanced research that we touched on briefly, and it just blew my mind. The negative force couple.
Ah, yeah. This is for the real nerds out there.
The research suggests that just before impact, the very best ball strikers actually apply a negative torque. They briefly try to reverse the forces.
For a split second, they fight their own rotation. It's true.
Why on earth would you slow down right at the ball?
Stability. If you keep accelerating the rotation through impact, the club face closes very, very rapidly. It's hard to time. By tapping the brakes on the rotation itself, they stabilize the face. They keep it square for a fraction of a second longer.
So they're trading a tiny, tiny bit of potential speed for a massive amount of control.
That's the difference between a long drive champion and a major champion. The long drive guy doesn't care if he hits it off the planet. The tour pro needs to find the fairway.
That is wild. You build up all this chaos and speed, and then at the last second, you apply a tiny bit of resistance to keep it on the rails.
It's the difference between swinging hard and playing golf.
Something to think about next time you're on the tee. Use the ground, scissor the feet, and maybe, just maybe, tap the brakes for control. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.
Swing hard, but swing smart.
We'll see you next time.